get ready to laugh with Best of Gotham Comedy Live's New York, the city that never bleeps. With your host, Adam Ferrara. Gotham Comedy Live's New York, the city that never bleeps, is all happening right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Ferrara.
Welcome to the Best of Gotham Comedy Live. I'm Adam Ferrara, and I'm going to be your host as we look back on some of the best comics we've had on the show. Now, don't adjust your set. It's supposed to look like that. We're trying something artistic. Nice, huh? Let's see what these comics had to say about my city.
I sound tough, don't I? I have to go home. I'm excited. I live right near here. I can tell you, because I'm not scared of anything anymore. You hit an age where you're not frightened of anything, especially when you've lived in New York 18 years. What am I going to be scared of? You can't rape me. I'll kiss you on the mouth. How are you going to rape that? This is so unexpected. I hate rapists. If anyone's watching this, you're a rapist, I fucking dare you. Try and rape me. You crawl in my window, you're crawling out half the fucking rapist you were when you crawled in. I'm raping you. I'm gonna mouth kiss you. I'm gonna whisper, I love you, I love you, I love you.
But you don't realize how much anger there is in this town until you're driving in it for 12 hours a day. I had a guy in the back of my cab punching the partition and screaming because I didn't make a left turn on 34th and 9th. He's like, I can't believe you blew that turn. I am shocked. You blew that turn. I am shocked. And I was like, I think shocked is a poor choice of words, sir. I'm 35. I speak English. I'm driving a cab. Clearly, this is not the first wrong turn I've taken in life. I'm like, do you have any idea how many opportunities I had to blow to wind up driving you to LaGuardia, you dick? All of them! All of them! It's 2012. I'm a white guy. The world was configured for me to win, and I'm holding a steering wheel on the Van Wyck. Lower your expectations, sir. Black people, you're the best people to pick up in a cab. Black people, by far the greatest. Because black people give you cliffhanger directions. You never know where you're going or when you're stopping at any point during the fucking ride. A white dude gets in, it's very specific. It's like, hey man, I'm going to 42nd and 8th. You can take me up 6, make a left at 42nd. I'll get out at the near side of 42nd and 8th. You're like, fine. A black dude gets in like, make a left right here. You're like, what? Go straight. Fuck it. Stop. You're like, what's going on? We're being followed. I'm scared. I want to get out. They tell you to roll down the window, holler at a bitch. What other job lets you holler at a bitch on behalf of the clientele? Change the station, make a U-turn. It's a lot of work for no tip.
I like being in New York. I live in an apartment building, which is weird. It's not natural, right? It's just people stacked up on top of people like they're Legos or something. Like, I've never met my next door neighbor, but I know she moans really loudly when she has sex. I finally met her in the elevator like 2 weeks ago. I was like, hey, how was your weekend? She's like, it was okay. I was like, it was more than okay. You came 7 times. You had an incredible weekend.
Sometimes dating in New York, dating in person can be even weirder than dating online. I met a girl the other day. Girls can be very aggressive in New York. I met a girl, we were just talking. One of the first things she said to me up front was, just so you know up front, I'm like the queen of giving blowjobs. I was like, what a merry coincidence. I'm the king of receiving blowjobs. Oh, what are the odds? Surely 'twas meant to be, m'lady. Also, no, you're not the queen of giving blowjobs. Look, she's gonna get back to the apartment. She's gonna be like, you never saw this move before. Every blowjob. Because there are only 2 types of blowjobs in the world: pretty good and really good, and they're all really good. Because any type of blowjob you get is so much better than not getting a blowjob.
But if you're from New York, all you need, because this right here, I love entertainment, but all you need when you're from New York, 225, get on the subway, and that is a fucking circus. I was on the train one time and I saw a blind man with an iPhone. I'm gonna say it again because you didn't get it right here. A blind man with an iPhone, and he was scrolling his ass off. He was like... I was like, how many Braille apps could he possibly have? I was fascinated. I saw a dude one time on a train playing a harp, an upright, beautiful harp on the train, not outside, not on the platform, on the train, playing a harp And he was just going in, and he had everybody mesmerized, and I was like, how did he get it down here? Really, like, that was my, like, I gave him $5 for labor. I'm like, my dude, get a dolly. But he was beautiful. He was amazing. You could tell he was trained. He was like, blah, 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 blah. He was just awesome. And I realized that day that the harp will chill anybody out. Yeah, because as he's playing and he has us all mesmerized on the train, 2 thugs walked in and they were arguing. And one thug was like, I swear to God, I'm gonna smack the shit. Hold on, is that a harp? Chilled him right out. Relaxed him. Now this is where it gets interesting, because as he's playing a harp and he has us all enwrapped, an actual homeless dude walked on the train. And he was scraggly, he had 1 shoe, he smelled, a little cup of change, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me, and he sees the dude playing the harp. And his reaction was awesome, because he stopped in his tracks and he's like, really, man? A harp? You gonna bring a harp down here? True story. As he walked off the train, he said, this motherfucker changing the game. True story.
We'll be right back with the best of Gotham Comedy Live's New York, the city that never bleeps. Welcome back to the best of Gotham Comedy Live's New York, the city that never bleeps.
Now we're on the way to the club. I got a spot tonight. Getting around the city can be a little tricky. You got your subway, that fare's $2.75. Don't worry, it's gonna go up. But for the price of admission, you'll probably be groped by somebody or catch an airborne disease. I'm not making any promises, but it's likely to happen. Traffic is a little tough because Mayor Bloomberg, remember the guy with the TV show, the Bloomberg? He used to be our mayor, and he gave us city bikes. Yay! It's Hong Kong. Except no one's used to looking out for bicycles, so people are being killed by city bikes. He also took a lane of traffic away down by the Flatiron Building and put tables up so you could sit outside and have a cup of coffee and die of carbon monoxide poisoning while the truck's idle at the stoplight. But you should see the city. It's a beautiful thing to see. If you are visiting our city, thank you for coming and spending your money. But could you walk a little faster, please? Because I got to get to work. All right, you check out these comics. I got to get in a cab. I'm late.
The rate of speed at which you people operate in this city is almost to the point of rudeness. And I say that because I'm not from here. I'm from South Carolina. And I say that because I raced a lady to a seat today in the subway. It was weird, because I wasn't trying to race her. She just made me race her to this fucking seat. Like, we both saw the seat at the same time, but I was closer. So I didn't think nothing of it. And I noticed she speeds up. So I'm like, for real, bitch? Are we... I didn't stretch, but I'm competitive, so I sped up too. And then she sped up again. I'm like, oh my God, I'm actually racing this lady to a seat. Now, we switched gears a couple more times. Now, I'm still at a brisk walk. By now, she's jogging. Finally, I win by default because she rolls her ankle and falls down. Which I thought was hilarious because now she actually needs a seat and she doesn't have one because she's a bitch. And that's what she gets. You know what's funny about that story? 10 years ago when I first moved to New York from South Carolina, that happened in front of me, I'd have picked that lady up and held her in my arms like a superhero. Are you okay? You fell kind of hard. But I've been in New York too long, man. I just sat in that seat and pulled my cell phone out, opening my calculator app for no reason at all. Started doing math equations and shit.
My friends come and visit me up here and they're like, how can you live up here? It's so hateful. It's hateful. I'm like, no, it's not. It's angry. There's a difference. I'm from Alabama. Sadly, I am overqualified to discuss hate. Thank you, history buffs. History buffs. Glad to have you. Right. Here's why I think it's hateful, okay? A couple years ago, some friends of mine from Atlanta visited me, and we're actually out here on 23rd Street taking the bus across town, and a man in a wheelchair rolls up to the bus stop. New York City is the only city on the planet Earth where if a man in a wheelchair rolls up to the bus stop, every New Yorker will stop, look at him, and go... Really, exactly. Seriously. Because we all know as New Yorkers, man in a wheelchair is going to get on the bus. We're all going to have to wait for 78 minutes for the bus to turn into a transformer to accommodate his ass. Right. We don't have time. We don't have time for ramps come out of nowhere, and homeless people are diving out of the wheel well all of a sudden. Scaffolding shoots out the sides. 12 Dominican guys are tiling something all of a sudden. A fucking street fair breaks out, and there's sausage and peppers on a roll, and funnel cake, and Jodeci's playing in the background for some goddamn reason. And... Yes.
12 years ago, I was doing a public access TV show in Canada, got picked up by MTV. They moved me here to New York City. Yeah. Now I have a YouTube channel, so my career's going pretty well. No, it's great. We're here, we're doing a show on Mark Cuban's network, right? Last time I was here in New York, I was working for a billionaire. I was working for Donald Trump on the Celebrity Apprentice. Yeah, I got fired. Got fired in the 3rd episode. Donald Trump was mad at me. He screamed at me. He screamed at me when he fired me. Didn't scream at the other celebrities. Didn't scream at Brian McKnight, whoever the fuck that is, right? They put you in a room, they make you make cupcakes for 16 hours. You got Clint Black screaming in your ear all day. I don't want to say anything bad about Clint Black, but that guy's a fucking asshole, man. Donald Trump, he was like, "You're fired!" His hair went like that and that. Could see all the wires and buttons underneath. He was mad at me because I went out drinking with Dennis Rodman. On the night I was the project manager. That's a no-no. What are you supposed to do? You're in New York City, a 7-foot-tall cross-dressing basketball champion asks you out on a date, you say yes. It's Dennis Rodman. He's probably going to pick you up, take you out for a steak dinner. You head out for a night on the town, have some cranberry vodkas, hit the strip club. At the end of the evening, you head back to the hotel. If you're lucky, he doesn't fuck you in the ass. I did not get lucky. He was gentle. That's what I call a backcourt violation, sir. See?
I'm trying things. I'm trying to be, I can try things. I went on a horse-drawn carriage ride with I did it! I really did it! I went on Nobody does that. You're right. Nobody does that. You don't know anyone who's ever done that? It's like for people who don't know. I went on a horse-drawn carriage ride. You shouldn't... Here's what happens. You think about it, you plan it, and then you sit down and you go, we shouldn't have done this. I don't know why. Why did we do this? It's just, I keep having... It just feels weird, you know? I have this thought over and over again, which is, we have a car. I don't know why we're doing this. I keep thinking, we have a car. We have a car. Clip-clop, we have a car. It's just kind of cold and weird. I feel bad for the horse. Don't you feel bad for these horses? They haul strangers around Manhattan their whole life. Where do these horses live? You're a horse in Manhattan? Where do you live? In my head, he's got a 4th-floor stable walk-up in Chinatown, and he's got to climb up the stairs and kicks the door open and goes, I got to get out of this city. I don't know. I can't take it anymore. I'm going back to Kentucky. Why do we think this notion of the past is so romantic? We do that, though, right? But like 100 years from now, we're going to be going, hey, sweetie, you want to take a Ford Focus around the park? Should we do that? Isn't that... It's exactly what we're doing. If someone from 1800 came to our time and saw that, they'd be going, why are you doing that? We've been trying to get rid of those for a long time. They stink and die.
I tell you, the main reason I love New York, though, especially when the weather's warm, the beautiful women. There are some beautiful women in this city. My God. Look at you. Oh, I got it. Man, I wish I brought a taser. I say, some guys bring flowers. I need a guarantee. Get in the car. So, no, I'm not joking. Stop it right now. My eyes are up here. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, you keep looking at me like that, you're gonna leave here with a limp and a black baby. All I wanna say to you, sir, is she is really out of your league. And that's a good thing. No guy wants a girl in their league, let's be honest. That's only something women say. You guys make a cute couple, yay! Men, that's not a compliment to a guy. Guys are like, what? You wanna compliment a guy, you go, how the hell did you get that? which I'm sure you've heard 1,000 times. Which doesn't, I'm not saying you're ugly, but she's beautiful and you own a mirror. So,
We'll be right back with the best of Gotham Comedy Live's New York, the city that never bleeds. Welcome back to the best of Gotham Comedy Live's New York, the city that never bleeds.
Welcome back to the best of Gotham Comedy Live. We are making our way through New York City, and we are now at the donut plant. I like to get a cup of coffee before I go on. You know what makes the donut plant special? They actually quilt their donuts. You pay extra for the square ones. We ready?
Double shot, non-fat latte with Fatula top.
I just wanted a cup of coffee. Do me a favor, put that in a cup. Check out these comics. Just a regular coffee.
New York people don't care, right? They don't give to the homeless. Always make excuses why not to give them money. You could be messed up homeless, have no arms, no legs, just be a head on the sidewalk with an eye patch and a speech impediment, little sign saying please give. Some guy walk by, yeah, but how'd you write that fucking sign though? No, honey, I seen these heads all over the place. Go get a hat. They kicked the head. I love it. Times Square getting all Disney-fied now. If I figure it's New York, it'll go back to normal. Give it a couple years. 7 dwarves will be walking around. Little kids will come up. Where's Snow White? You know, right here, motherfucker. Yeah. Mickey Mouse will be out on the corner. Suck your dick for some cheese.
Great to be here in New York, though, man. I think about moving here all the time until I come here and get weather like this, and then I'm like, I don't know about that, because I love this city, but you've never heard of me, right? I'm like 2 canceled gigs away from being homeless at any time. I can't be homeless. It's much nicer to be homeless in L.A. because, you know, the worst thing you worry about is a little melanoma on your nose. You know, that's about it. Because out here, I mean, you can't make any money. Nobody takes their hands out of their pockets. It's too cold. L.A., they just, you know, they just put a lawn chair up at a highway exit and a red light. They pull up a book. It's like drive-through panhandling. Like I'm taking their order. You ever been out there? And I'm a nice guy. I'm from the Midwest, but I don't make a lot of money. You've never heard of me, right? I feel bad for these guys. I'm always pulling up behind some guy in like a 2028 BMW, always like powering his windows up as this poor guy walks by. Meanwhile, I'm always rolling my window down to explain to this guy why I can't give him 5 cents. I'm pointing at features on my car like, dude, you see the broken headlight and the cracked windshield? I mean, when this thing breaks down, I'm you, you know what I mean? I got Sharpies and cardboard in the trunk. I'm ready to be you right now. And I know how to spell help, so I'm going to have a leg up on you.
We just hosted the Super Bowl, man. It was embarrassing. Why was it embarrassing? Because we had the biggest sporting event in the world in what is arguably the worst sports city in the world right now. We fucking suck, man. Like, all right, the Knicks are bad. Football was a disaster. We have the Yankees, but let's be honest, we also have the Mets. You know what I mean? Is anybody here a Met fan? A couple people? Oh, that is adorable, sir. That is so cute. I don't even think they use a real ball at this point. I think they use a Nerf. I'm not even kidding. David Wright hits a home run. They all go to Carvel after the game. Like, I try to root for the Mets, but I'm at the point where after a Met game, I drive by Ground Zero to cheer up. It's fucking hard. But you can't make fun of them because their fans are passionate. They will fight you, man. They're like, don't make fun of the Mets. They're not so bad. The Mets are so bad. If you get there early, you can play. They don't even care. Me, my brother, and my uncle actually beat the Mets 5-2 last Thursday. It's depressing. I once left 2 Mets tickets in the front seat of my car. Somebody actually broke in and left 2 more. I said that at a show in Staten Island, and this woman was like, why would they do that? It makes no sense. I was like, thanks for the tip, Big Ange. I appreciate it. Been to the new Yankee Stadium. I haven't tried the food yet because I couldn't get a cosigner, but it's a nice place. The Yankees scare me, man, because the Yankees brought back a holiday this year called Bat Day, where everybody who walks in the door gets a free bat in the Bronx. Hello? Why not just have Box Cutter Day while you're at it? How do you give out bats in the Bronx? It's the last thing they need. It's like giving out fertility pills at the Puerto Rican Day parade. Relax, I can tell that joke. My friend is Puerto Rican, and tonight's actually a special occasion. Her grandmother's turning 22, and
Hello, you beautiful babies. How are you? Did you have a good day? Was it good? That's good, because a bad day in Manhattan is just bad, isn't it? Is that my mother's in Virginia, and she told me the other day she was having a bad day. And I've lived here 20 years. I'm from the South originally, but I've lived here 20 years, so I'm a New Yorker now. I'll cut you. I'll pray for you, but I'll face cut you. So I don't know why I moved this like I wasn't going to stand here by the drink the whole time. But my mother said she was having a bad day, and the first thing I thought was, I doubt it. I doubt it's bad, because I lived in Manhattan 20 years, and I was right, it wasn't that bad. It was a bad Virginia day. Like, they closed the Walmart pharmacy early. Like, it was that. They're like, you live in Manhattan 20 years, a bad day is like someone threw human poop at you today. Or the elevator got caught between floors, and you crawled out, and your face skimmed the floor, and now you think you have floor AIDS in your eye. And you get to where you're going, and no one will even dispute if floor AIDS exists. Your floor AIDS could happen. It's just
I ran into a cowboy today. I love New York, because you never know who you're going to meet on the street. I love him. Hey, how you doing, goddamn boy? How you doing? Arsenio, I love you. Look. God, because you can't fight a cowboy. They don't back down to nobody. It could be, 5 dudes, 1 cowboy. Come on, son, bitch, come on. Come on. They say little weird shit. I'll skin you like a snake caught in a tree while fishing off a goddamn finger pup. Come out. What do you say? I don't know. Let's leave his ass alone.
All right, man. I like the energy. I like the energy, folks. I could tell we're New Yorkers, man. I could just feel it, man. This week has been brutal, right? We've had like 2 snowstorms. It's been. Let's just say it's been fucking brutal. But seriously, if you're a real New Yorker, you can remember 3 years ago, I'll never forget it, 39 inches of snow in the month of January, okay? And I blamed my wife for all 39 inches. Check this out, because she talked me out of buying a snowblower that December. Yeah, I don't know if you knew this about getting married, what happens, but you can't just go buy something after that. You can't see something you want and just grab it. Oh, I'll get a snowblower. My wife's like, where are you going with that? I'm like, we need this. We need this. She goes, no, we don't. We'll just hire a guy every time it snows. Yeah, that's how much snow we got that winter. There was no guy, okay? Yeah. Do you know how much it has to snow for Mexican people not to want to work? Yeah. That's a positive racist joke, so those are hard to write. Yeah. Even Mexicans were like, yo, that's a lot of snow, bro. Shit, you should have bought the snowblower, man. Fucking snow, man. Anyone got the wife who doesn't help you with the shoveling? She just waves to you from the picture window? Holding both my kids. Oh, wave at daddy. You gotta be fucking shitting me. Are you serious? Some fucking boots on, bitch. Let's do this. I don't even want to live in this house. We're near your whole fucking family.
We'll be right back with the best of Gotham Comedy Live's New York, the city that never bleeps. Welcome back to the best of Gotham Comedy Live's New York, the city that never bleeps.
Welcome back to the best of Gotham Comedy Live. We are on our way to the club right now in one of New York City's taxi cabs. Now, the first thing I do when I get in here is make sure this is off, because I DVR'd the game and I don't want to see any scores. Now, it's also important to brace yourself. Sometimes the cabs have to stop short. The biggest thing that happened, boom, your teeth get knocked out. It happens more often than you think. Now, 5 o'clock is the shift change, which makes sense because that's rush hour. So it's really tough to get a cab at that time of day. Also, if it's raining, you're on your own. It's quicker to move to Utah than it is to get a cab on a rainy Friday at 5 o'clock in New York City. Check out these comics.
Yay! What's happening, New York? It's good to be here, good to be here. I'm from England, that's why I speak like this. Some of you are looking a little bit confused. I can see your little faces, you're like, is that the butler from Fresh Prince? No, I'm black and British, yes. And I've just moved to New York 2 months ago. Just moved in. Yay! I love it, it's great. Who knew that I'd fall in love with the smell of piss and garbage in the summer? New York smells like shit! But I love it. I got chased by a cockroach yesterday. I was walking down the street and this cockroach came out of the drain and I was like, ah! And the cockroach was like, oh, what, bitch? And then chased me.
Just celebrated being a New Yorker for 25 years. 25, yeah. I know. I've seen everything you could possibly see in 25 years, man. It's a circus. Except the baby pigeon. I don't know where the baby pigeons are, but these things are all the same size. Nobody's picked that one up yet, but they're all footballs with feet. It's kind of weird at this point. 25 years, no fluffy pigeon, ever. As a matter of fact, you rarely see a dead pigeon. They're like Marines. They take their wounded with them or something, because where are all the dead pigeons, right? It keeps me up at night, I gotta be honest, man. I don't even remember why I moved to New York, you know? I guess I thought, where can I pay $2,500 a month to live in what in any other part of the country would be known as a foyer? So, my first apartment was so small, my fish would mock me. That's how small. They'd be in the room like, we got plenty of room, you're an idiot, and they'd be fine. So I turned their air off. That was the end of them. But, no, I didn't kill my fish, please. I don't even have pet fish. That's a stupid pet. Anybody have pet fish? Don't raise your hand. It's retarded. Don't raise it.
Nice to be here in New York City. I love riding around in taxi cabs in New York because the taxi cab drivers in New York City are so unfazed. They are just unflappable. They have heard anything. I could walk out of here right now, walk into a taxi, sit in the back seat. The guy wouldn't even be fazed. I could walk in, just sit down, right, and just like,
okay, listen, you got to take me to West 52nd. I got to go over there and shoot a guy.
Okay, I will get you there as soon as possible so you can go and shoot the guy.
I'm from New York, man. I love being out here. It's awesome. It's awesome being out here, but I miss it because I live in LA now, and people out there, they don't like to fight, you know? I miss that. I miss that about East Coast people. They like to fight. Like LA, sometimes there'll be like a vegetarian fight. Like is there gluten in this muffin? And I'm like, well, maybe. I don't know. How can you tell? You know? But like out here, man, people just fight for no reason, man. And I love that, man. Like I don't like to fight, but I'm that guy that likes causing fights in the background. And I love just walking in the back like, you gonna let him say that? Get him, baby, get him. Get him. But certain people, like, they deserve to be in fights, right? Like certain people, like they act like they're filming on the Jersey Shore and they're not. They're just yelling at their girlfriend for no reason. Like, what are you doing? I told you not to park there. I love just kind of walking back being like, she slept with my cousin, and then I just kind of watch.
I live here in New York City. I live in Astoria, Queens. Got some neighbors. It's kind of a weird neighborhood. I had to call for a cab to the airport, and I said, hey, can I get a taxi to LaGuardia at noon tomorrow? And the guy goes, okay, bye. Hey, maybe don't hang up the phone just yet. Aren't you supposed to ask me for my address? Or tell me what this is going to cost? Or, I don't know, do anything at all to convince me a transaction has just been made over the telephone? Here's the weirdest part. He showed up.
How we doing, everybody? We doing good? A lot of you, if you're not from New York, you're going to realize very quickly if you're visiting, there's not a lot of personal space in New York City. People get in your personal boundaries, they don't care. The other day I was on the train, I was reading my newspaper, all of a sudden I could feel someone reading my newspaper with me. He was so close, he turned the page. I take the subway everywhere. That's what we do in New York. We take the subway, but they got to do something about the homeless people. I always give money to the homeless people, but they don't do enough. This is what they should do. Why don't they just, in the subway, pay all the homeless people like $10 an hour and make it a haunted house? That would be fun for everyone, including the homeless people. You're stuck down there at 3 o'clock in the morning in a dark tunnel. All of a sudden, the guy with one shoe pops out. Whoa. You run away from him with the guy with the blanket over his head's chasing you. You run up the stairs. There's that guy grabbing his balls for no apparent reason. Dude, you guys going clubbing tonight? No way, dude. We're going the Hardin subway. Yeah. But people see crazy stuff in New York City. I saw something crazy. Ready for this? I saw a crazy guy stab a woman in the butt. Don't get nervous. It wasn't life-threatening. It was just a little, that's all it was. Now, it didn't sound like that. I just gave it a sound effect. Matter of fact, when he did it, he looked at me, and I went, But then the guy starts to run, and I was like, oh my God, I was raised, you see something, you gotta be a good Samaritan. So I start seeing this guy running down the street, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna chase him, I'll be a hero, I'll get like a trophy from the mayor, I'll be famous. So I start chasing this guy down the street, but here's the problem, I am not fast, so it didn't even look cool that I was chasing him. It looked like two separate situations. If you were watching it, looked ridiculous. It looked like some guy was running really, really fast, and way behind him, some guy was late for work.
We'll be right back with the best of Gotham Comedy Live's New York, the city that never bleeps. Welcome back to the best of Gotham Comedy Live's New York, the city that never bleeps.
That's Gotham down there. It's on 23rd and 7th. I'm talking here! That's Gotham down there. It's on 23rd and 7th. That's the main entrance. We're not going in that way. You're with me. We're going to go in through the Chelsea and underneath. See all the scaffolding? They put money into this place, you know, after Sid's outburst.
Good to see you, Adam. Have a good show.
Thanks, pal. See, it's important to be nice to people. Then, you got a guy who can open doors for you. That's the trick around getting around New York City. You want to get places people don't know exist. Because you're going to be in a hurry. It's just the way the city is. And the person in front of you will not be in a hurry. That's just the way the city is.
Oh, all right. I don't have a bunch of time. Calm it down. Let's get this thing going. All right. I just want y'all to know, as I look out over the crowd, you guys are like a representation of New York to me. Because as I look out over the crowd, I see cultural diversity. That's one of the things I love about living in New York. New York is so culturally diverse to you always see things that just totally shoot holes in all the stereotypes. And I saw something not too long ago that really touched me. I was on a subway platform at 59th Street in Columbus Circle, and I saw 3 Asian tap dancers. Oh yeah, they were getting down too. They doing tricks and things. I mean, people are walking by putting down their money. I mean, even black folks are walking by going, look at those Asian tap dancers. And it inspired me so much I came back a couple of days later with a couple of my boys, and we started doing martial arts. Now we're doing Tai Bo and Tai Chi, and that's happening. Now we're having this cultural exchange of Asian tap dancers and black martial artists, and people are walking by putting down their money, and then we robbed them. Because we didn't want them to think we had small penises. That's right, one stereotype at a time, people. Rome was not built in a day.
I'm originally from Virginia, and my family and friends back home are very worried about me because I'm not married yet at my age. Like, I'm not stone cold single. That's just my wrestling name. But I've lived in New York since '99, so I have to explain to them the difference between New York and Virginia. Like where I come from, everyone gets married right out of college, you have 3 kids by the time you're 25. Whereas in New York, you can live here your entire life and no one will ever love you.
I am excited to be here in Gotham, the center of the comedic universe. I'm not just saying that because they're paying me and I'm reading it. No, I'm saying it because New York has a vibe, you know? It's like the world, it's the capital of the world. You walk down the street, you hear every language known to mankind, and you realize some languages are not romantic at all, you know? How anybody romances anyone in German is really beyond me. It's like, ich bin einig. That would make my testicles go up, you know, going... I like to watch like Asian, you know, Japanese, such a strong language. And I'm going, what the hell is that, you know? And the women are so feminine, so docile. You know, it's hey, it gets the job done, I guess, you know. The most romantic language is Portuguese. Any Portuguese people? Oh man, am I right? Am I right, Brazil? Yeah, I got an erection now already, and she's there. But that's what's it all about. Folks, one day, years from now, when we all intermarry, when blacks, whites, and Asians, and everybody, when we all become Filipinos, we're going to be a better class of people. We'll find some other reasons to hate each other.
If you're Puerto Rican, you are born an American citizen, could you do a little bit better job of speaking English without such a thick accent? If you are ever landing at Newark and you take Route 17 north in the state of New York, 5 miles in on the right-hand side is a 24-hour McDonald's. There is a Puerto Rican lady that works the drive-thru in the middle of the night. Her name is Neida. This lady's accent is so thick She was trying to sell me shit that's not on the fucking menu. She tried to sell me creepy chicken. What the fuck is creepy chicken? And I was high, which did not make this better. I had just smoked a joint and I was high, and I go up and I swear to God, I go, I'll have a McWrap. And I swear to God, she goes, would you like the grill or the creepy chicken? Yo, bro, I'm high, or did she just say creepy chicken? What kind of chicken? We have grill and we have creepy. I was so high, I'm like, fuck it, I'll have the creepy chicken. I don't even know what's in it, but I want to put it on Instagram. I'm at McDonald's having creepy chicken.
New York is ridiculous. People think when you live in New York City, you can just meet people, you have a great social life. They're like, oh my God, you live in New York, it's so great, you have so many dates and meet all these girls. No, it's hard out there. A lot of people that are New Yorkers, that are my friends, we do the dating sites. Who's ever been on a dating site here? Clap if you've been on a dating site. There you go, there you go. All right, I was kidding, you're a loser. Anyway, just trying to find where the losers are.
But seriously, I like to hang out with my kids a lot. I spend a lot of time with them. I'm not one of those typical Manhattan moms that looks really confused without the nanny, right? You guys, you've seen them in the park with their kids, right? They're always like, now, tell mommy your name again. And then they always act surprised when the kid answers in a Jamaican accent. Me tell you 3 times my name, Cooper, you crazy woman. That's what they sound like. That's what they sound like.
We'll be right back with the best of Gotham Comedy Live's New York, the city that never bleeps. Welcome back to the best of Gotham Comedy Live's New York, the city that never bleeps.
Thank you guys for making a trip with me. I know it's a little hectic. There's 8 million people living on this island. Why, Adam? Why do so many people want to live here? Is it the culture, the theater, the ballet? No, it must be Wall Street, the Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty. No, it's the comedy. Gotham Comedy Live is the best comedy you're going to see. And you don't even have to leave your house. We do all this for you. You know, I really hope you people appreciate everything I'm doing for you.
You're late.
Traffic.
This isn't coffee.
Mind your business!
Hello, everybody. I live here in New York, which is wonderful and terrible depending on the minute. I enjoy being here for the most part, but one of the weird things about living in New York that you don't anticipate when you live here is there's certain things that will irritate you that maybe shouldn't. Like, I get really annoyed when people tell me they had a New York moment, because it's usually them trying to engage me in some weird non-versation that I don't want to be a part of. And they're going to try to tell me how they went to Serendipity or they went somewhere and it was just lovely. And it's like, I don't want to begrudge you. You're fun. Have your fun. But I don't know a New York moment to be some fantastical situation, okay? I live here. My idea of a New York moment is something more akin to a rat dying inside the mechanism of my refrigerator. And then me trying to explain that to my landlord, who does not speak English. That every time I go to the refrigerator to open it and get, say, a cool drink of water, I'm blasted with the icy scent of death. And because I can't explain it through pantomime rat dead gestures, I have to drag my refrigerator out of my apartment and throw it on the sidewalk. That's what I know to be a New York moment.
I'm from New York originally, man. I'm from here. I'm a New Yorker. Brooklyn, New York! It's tough when you're from here, because I travel for a living, you know? So, like, when I travel, I gotta pretend like I'm impressed with other people's cities. So I don't come off like a dick. So I just go to their cities and I'm like, wow, this is your city? This is amazing. This is your downtown area? Right here? All 4 blocks? That's crazy. How does anyone even traverse that? That seems impossible. Is this your skyline right here? Is your little skyline? A little skyline? The CVS is part of your skyline? Does this building have an antenna with a blinking light on top so nobody flies a kite into it by accident? It's almost like a real city.
Moment. So, I used to think when people said they had a New York moment, it was just a bunch of hooey. And then I saw a bird fly into the side of a woman's head in broad daylight on the island of Manhattan. And now I understand I was wrong. Because that was a particular New York moment. Particular to here. Now, if you're not impressed by a bird flying into the side of a woman's head, I just have to ask where you died inside. Because that is a gift from the Lord. We can all share. Except for her. Screw her. There have to be some sacrifices. But in case you're not impressed by that, maybe you're like, I work at an Avery in Florida, and I see that sometimes. Let me explain to you why this was special. This instance of a bird hitting a lady in the head was special because of her reaction, which was nothing. She didn't give a shit. And that's special. Let me try to paint the picture for you. So she's walking down the street. Nothing particularly unusual is happening. She's kind of muttering to herself, but not in like a weird way that might attract birds. Just sort of a normal, angry New York person trying to suppress a boiling, seething rage just beneath the surface. And then here comes a pigeon screaming out of the sky, wobbles, and then it hits her right in the side of the head. There's an explosion of hair and feathers. And this is all she does in response to that happening to her. She just goes like this and kept walking. Like it happened all the time. And that screwed with me on a level I don't even know how to process that. I don't know what that means, where that's not a big deal to you. When that's not a big deal to you, I don't know what your life is like, and it terrifies me. Like, what nightmarish existence do you lead every day where you're just like, I'll just shelve that bird thing because there's definitely more stuff that's going to happen that's weirder and worse than that. Like, what is your day like? Just stealing yourself on this side of your apartment door, just... Okay, just touching the doorknob, seeing if it's hot. Okay, all right, here we go. Oh, blow darts. Knew that was coming. All right, got to pay rent. That's $9,000. That's a lot to have agreed to pay for a studio that I share with a guy who doesn't own pants. But I guess that's what you get for going on Craigslist, living in the city of dreams. Gonna make it here, but nobody's gonna keep Brenda down. I'm gonna go on that audition, and I'm gonna make it on Broadway. You just wait and see. That's probably just another bird.
I love New York, and I live in LA for the last 25 years. I miss Puerto Ricans, I do. We don't have Puerto Ricans. They haven't come quite that far. I miss them, the energy, the Puerto Ricans and the Dominicans, which are the same thing to me, but don't tell them that. They get very upset. Are you Dominican, ma'am? No. Are you Puerto Rican? Neither. You neither. Okay, good. I was about to get stabbed. So, no. No, and here's the thing. I had a Puerto Rican driving instructor. You know, when I was 28, I learned how to drive, and she had this energy, like she didn't understand what all these numbers and all these letters. Get in the car. Shut up, get in the car. Okay, you see this P? That P is for parking, okay? Okay. You see the D? The D, that is for driving, okay? But every time I put the car into aura, it goes back that way. How come that's not a B? I put it back, it should be back that way. B, you don't get, okay. Driving and phonetics at the same time. Reading is fundamental.
But I realize New York's the best city, and this is how you could realize, this is how you could tell New York's the best city. Based on, as a New Yorker, how you react when you find out you got friends from out of town coming to visit you. Because when you're a New Yorker, you are not happy about that. This is fucking your whole schedule up. You're like, when did you say you were going to be in town the 22nd to the 2nd? Ah, fuck, really? Oh, man, I got no time to lug this motherfucker to the Statue of Liberty. I got a lot of fast walking to do. I gotta go see that independent Croatian movie at the Angelica later. Oh, man, maybe his plane will crash or something.
I'm gonna get out of here, but the one thing I want to tell you guys is New York is a wonderful place. I dog on it occasionally, but I love the things that happen here because they're like all these New York moment things, whatever. My favorite is I was coming out of the subway and I was going past this dude on the street corner who wasn't homeless, but he was like going that way. Like dirty suit, a couple of cardboard signs he's written all kinds of nonsense on, and just asking like, where's the documentation? It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't want to get bit. I'm going to keep walking. I got 10 steps past this guy, and this is what I hear yelled at him at this volume. Man, you better summarize that shit. Like, all kinds of... And that's what's beautiful about New York. It checks itself. Because that's the most important thing that guy could have heard in the day. Just don't try to explain all that bullshit. Just get an editor. You need to trim that nonsense down to an acceptable level that people can consume when they walk past you on the street. Just have a Post-it note with a question mark on it. Just be shaking that around.